back. So I know it's been a while since I posted my first video, 2 months, but and thank you guys for the support and all the likes and stuff. It was just really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna do my second video on introverted girls. Well, introverted people, but it's coming from an introverted girl. But it applies to everyone, pretty much, who's an introvert. So I'm making this video because, like I said, I'm an introverted girl, and I feel like there's a lot of misconception about what it actually means to be an introvert and what it's like to be an introvert. So I'm just gonna bring up some topics and talk a little bit about being an introvert. Disclaimer before I get started, because I know some people are gonna be like, well, that's not what it means. Guys, I'm not saying that this applies to every single person. I'm saying it from my own perspective. This is through my own understanding, my knowledge on what it means to be an introvert and what it's like for me as an introvert. So as we know, in understanding an introvert, we usually compare it to the exact opposite, which is an extrovert. Someone who is very, they can be very enthusiastic, outgoing, outspoken. Their confidence is it's seen, like you can feel it. When they're in the room, they're in the room. And therefore the introvert, usually someone who we understand to be someone who's just a little bit more laid back, a little bit more quiet, or to themselves, who doesn't mind blending into the wallpaper. An ambivert's usually someone in the middle, so someone who usually has both qualities of an extrovert and an introvert. Most people are ambiverts, so yeah, I definitely have. Honestly, if you first meet me, you'd probably think I'm an ambivert, but there's certain situations that you'll see me and you're like, being an introvert just means, honestly, that you keep to yourself. You'd rather just think about your emotions and your thoughts before you express them. Maybe when you're in a party, you might be, hyper and excited just like everyone else, but after a while, you just need to take some time to yourself. So maybe after the party, a couple days or a couple weeks, for me, a couple months, you're just literally gonna be inside the house recuperating. Or maybe just at that party, you just need a few moments to yourself, so you'll sneak to the washroom just to be by yourself, or you'll talk to a few friends. Being an introvert does not mean you only want to be by yourself. It just means that when it's in a group setting, like a large group, sometimes you feel a little overwhelmed and you just need time to yourself. And that's where the looking inward comes in. Introverts are usually seen as being a little bit more creative because you are to yourself. You have a lot of time to think and analyze things and understand things a little bit more differently from others who would rather just express it, or just a little bit more comfortable just talking about it right away, or going into it, or not having time to sit down and consider things, or whatever it might be. But there's nothing wrong with being an extrovert and an introvert and an ambivert. It's just the way you are. It's just the way your mind's wired, the way your personality is. And yeah, before I continue on, there are actually tons of introverted characters from movies and TV shows and books. For instance, Harry Potter, introvert. Who else? Frodo, probably an introvert. Who else? Raj from The Big Bang, Alex Dunphy from Modern Family, Frank Underwood and Claire Underwood from House of Cards. Who else? I made a list here. Pusey from Orange is the New Black, Pam from The Office, Marnie from Girls, Lisa from The Simpsons. So there are tons of introverted characters, and for some of them you don't even know they're introverts. Like Marnie, you wouldn't even know she is, just because she's a lot more expressive and she doesn't mind saying what's on her mind. But at the same time, you do find, if you really look at Marnie, you'll notice a lot of the time she's by herself, and she does do things by herself. And she's very creative. Who knew she was a singer? So, yeah. So there's this thing called the comfort zone, which for me, honestly, I didn't get it until I watched Sherlock, and then I was like, Mind Palace. So, the Mind Palace is basically your mind, and it's a space where you put information, you store information. So basically you don't have to be aware of the Mind Palace, it's just your mind. It's like you know your address, you know your phone number, you know who your family members are, you know where you live, things like that. It's all in your mind, the Mind Palace. So Sherlock believes that you put needed information, important information into your Mind Palace, and if you don't really need it, just toss it out. So I like to refer to the comfort zone being something very similar to the mind palace, and that the comfort zone is a place where it doesn't have to be a physical place and it doesn't have to be a mental place. It can be either or both. So for me, it's more of a mental space. So if I'm in a situation where I feel very uncomfortable, like being in a room with a bunch of people that I don't know, or I'm I don't really know that much, I get nervous, like really, really nervous. And sometimes you can't tell because I'll put up a front and you won't be able to tell, but if you know who I am, you can catch the cues, which I'm not going to tell you. My comfort zone is just like literally digging deep down into myself and just relaxing and calming myself down and focusing on the physical. So what people are seeing of me right now. So if I'm playing with my hands or something like that, I try to stop that, because I feel like if they can't tell that I'm nervous, after a while I won't be nervous. So for me, my mind palace or my comfort zone is just relaxing and calming down, and just realizing that not everyone feels the exact same way that I do, and not everyone is seeing things the way that I do, and I just need to relax because it's not as big as I'm making it seem. And the comfort zone is very, very useful. So if you're an introvert, try to create your own comfort zone. Now, it can be a physical space, it could be a room that you need to retreat to, but if it's a mental space, it's much more better because you can just go there right away and just collect yourself and then get back out there. So being an introvert myself, when I'm with my friends, I never have more than like, I'm never that person who has like 20 friends. Like, I always know a bunch of people and I have acquaintances and things like that, but when it comes to actual friends, you can count them on one hand. Like, I have like just a few friends, just because I'm one of those friends who are like the ride or dies, so I'll always be there for you no matter what. Like if my friend calls and is like, you will not believe what I just did, I'll be like, girl, text me the address, I'm on it. Like, that's the type of friend I am, so that's what I look for, and obviously there are not a lot of people out there like that, and it's also hard to build relationships and bonds with people, because everyone has their qualities, and if you're not comfortable with a certain quality, then it's hard for you guys to take the next step. So being friends with an extrovert is interesting, because when I'm with my friends, I come across as an extrovert just because I feel like I'm to myself for so long that when I get the opportunity and chance to be with other people, all of a sudden I'm like so expressive and I'm like out there and stuff like that. Like, when I'm with my friends, I'm the crazy one, but when I'm out there with people I don't really know, I go really, really quiet. People are like, oh my god, Linda's so timid, she's so quiet, she's so to herself. People that know me are like, bruh, you do not know this girl, she's crazy. Because when I'm comfortable with the people that I know and comfortable in the space that I'm in, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm fully out there, I'm just having fun. And I feel like it's also because we spend so much time guarding ourselves and watching everything that we say and do, that when we get the opportunity to not do that, it just all comes out. And I love those moments when I can just be free. So being friends with an extrovert it's hard, because sometimes you feel silenced. Sometimes their personality might be a little too strong for you, and so it sort of shuts you off a little bit, and you're just like, okay, I'll just stay quiet. And obviously you're not enjoying yourself if you're staying quiet and to yourself the whole time. But sometimes it can be good, because they can actually bring out qualities in yourself that you were never aware of, or they can make you just open yourself up, and you'll be like, what? I didn't know that I could do something like that. Or you'll do something crazy and just be like, wow, that was really fun. I like that. I love being with this person. They make me more expressive and more open and more confident in how I approach the world and see myself in interactions. Well, it depends. For me, if I'm comfortable, like I said, I'm a little bit more open. But if I'm not comfortable, which is a lot of the time, I just go very, very quiet. I think it's so much easier to just be categorized as a quiet person, so that people just sort of like move over and go bother other people and talk to them. So I usually just I'm like to myself. Social interactions are hard, because you, as an introvert, sometimes everything, or I feel like everything that I say, I have to like watch those words. I'm very choosy with the words that I use, because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I don't want people to be like, and ask me questions. I literally just want to say, I feel like it's like a script. I just want to say what I have to say, and then just stop talking, and then hopefully no one will turn to me and be like, what do you mean by that? They'll just be like, oh, and then just move on to something else, and I'm like, hallelujah, hallelujah. So for me, those moments where I can just sort of get what I need to get across and just stop talking, I love those. The misconception is that all introverts are shy or awkward or like have like social anxiety, like I was saying. It's not true. For me personally, I do probably have like some mild case of social anxiety because I freak out, like I panic to the point where like I can't even remember what I'm talking about. Like the minute I say a word, I don't know what I just said. So my mind has like the sentence made up and I'll just like say the words, and as I'm saying each word, the minute I finish one word, I've forgotten what I just said. Like sometimes I go through those situations, or I'll be in a lecture and the professor will say something and I'll want to like respond, but I know that the minute I pick up my head I'm going to forget everything, so I'm like, I'll just sit here quietly and not say anything. So those moments really suck, but I'm definitely getting better at it. I do try to push myself a lot, and this year I've been pushing myself a lot to the point where we were in class talking and some girls were like, you are not an introvert, you are definitely an extrovert. And for me that was like a big accomplishment. Not that being an introvert is a bad thing, but for me personally, I'm trying to get out of the bubble, out of my shell. I'm trying to be more open and expressive and confident in the way that I portray myself out there. I don't want to be shy or scared anymore. I want to just be able to just be me. Definitely being an introvert does not mean that I'm a pushover or you can walk over it. I am not one of those people. Like, I will tell you how it is. But the thing is, I'm so patient that it's almost like I'm a pushover, like you could walk over me. I'm so patient, but the thing is when I snap, that's it. You know, I don't have like limits. Like I go from like 0 to 100. There's no like middle ground with like anger. So I'll be patient, and then it's like anyways, thank you guys again for your support and your love. You guys are amazing. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing to my channel, and spread the word. Linda T's here to stay. So stay tuned for another episode next week, and let me know if you do want me to continue on with the Introverted Girl series. I'll come up with more situations and just more topics to talk about. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, just please feel free to just send me a question, send me some comments, let me know what's up, what I should talk about next video. Also, I do videos on TV shows and movies, so let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything specifically. And yeah, thank you guys again so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys.